Hello and happy Galactic New Year. Grateful to be here with you, as is the Council of Light. And if this is the season of change, it is the Galactic New Year. Yes, today marks the launch point of a new cycle, a new galactic year. And simultaneously, we are in the midst of navigating waves of change. And another way to reference that is accelerated growth, upgrades into higher octaves of expression. So anytime we're welcoming an upgrade into a higher octave of expression, there is a reorientation, and it's like a reset of how we identify, because we changed, we've upgraded, we've become next level of who we are. And this happens in a series of micro moves. And normally those take several years or even lifetimes to traverse various learnings of new yoga poses, energetic stances. And because we're in a quickening, an acceleration, we're doing it much quicker, much faster, one right after the other. So when I feel into what would be the most supportive for this transmission, at least one aspect of it is to help you reorient to who you've become, to upgrade your identity to a place that is current. And so this particular transmission can be used anytime during this next, it's like I'm being shown series of steps or series of waves, series of unfoldings, a blooming, a growth, to help you reorient each time you do a new energetic shift, an upgrade. And because you've chosen a path of ascension, you wouldn't be listening to this if you haven't. Every change represents growth, expansion, upgrade. So the first piece to this is we're going to bring in an energetic download, and you can bring in that which is unique to you, that which would support you in the highest way within that energetic download, to reinvent your relationship with change to a higher octave and to redefine change through a positive lens, through an empowered lens, synonymous with growth, synonymous with upgrade, synonymous with expansion. And again, it's because you're on an ascension path. Every time a shift happens, it's an upgrade. You just went a little further up on the mountain, a little closer to the identification of you as one with source, fully, consistently, 24/7, basically where your higher self lives, the octave of consciousness. And step by step, we upgrade our frequency, our consciousness. We move one step closer to unity consciousness, full on, rewired for oneness, perceiving from a place of oneness and connection. So every change is an upgrade. Now, when we are pointing to this energetically, we're pointing to the changes occurring vibrationally within you and your body devas and on the planet for Gaia, Earth. But those changes that are happening vibrationally will reflect as change in the outer world, in that whatever can't move to the higher vibration will have to fall away. Whatever can't go with you into the higher octave, you'll part ways with, whether that's an institution, an organization, a way of being, a relationship, a way of perceiving self, a way of relating and functioning with resources or finances or currency. As you upgrade, life, organizations, if you will, that you use to function in life will upgrade with you to the degree that you're not clinging to the old. Allow the old to fall away so that the new can be aligned with and welcomed. And they show this to me as more of a very simultaneous occurrence, that it can be very streamlined, very letting go of this, and here's the next wave. This is the wave I catch. This relationship is leaving, this relationship is coming in. And whether that's a person or, again, an institution, a way of being, a way of perceiving self, will you allow it to happen in a streamlined way so that there's no clinging to the old? And a lot of times this has to do with clinging to an old identity of you. And so that's where we're going to shift gears here. It's really all part of the same transmission, but to support you in getting current with who you've become and letting go of any false identifications that have you perceiving through a disconnected or disempowered lens, or just a lens that isn't accurate based on your current place on the mountain, your current level of consciousness, your current vibrational quotient, light quotient. And so we're going to invite you at the level of your higher self, guides, teams to help, Ascended Masters, Council of Light is supporting, scanning your fields to the degree that you're allowing it and choosing it, for anywhere you're clinging to an old identification or an old way of being or perceiving that is at a lower level of consciousness, a lower vibration, out of alignment with who you've become, not compatible with who you've become. And because it's not compatible with who you become, it creates a dissonance. And that dissonance then reflects in your experience, whether it be disempowerment, not safe, not supported, not connected, not free, not abundant, whatever it is. So it creates this lack of, fill in the blank, because it's coming from a lower place on the mountain, and you've actually moved to a higher vantage point, a higher frequency. But when we hold something in our fields that's who we were the step prior or 3 steps prior to what we become, it generates, because we're out of alignment with who we are currently in the now, it generates a dissonance. It generates, I'm going to call it a lack vibration, because it's lack of alignment. And so that lack vibration, dissonance, reflects in some area of life, if not multiple areas of life, even just in the way we perceive and think. That there's not enough of something, or we're not enough, or we aren't doing enough, or we aren't having enough, or things aren't happening fast enough. Maybe even regret around decisions of past, lack of discernment of past, what we perceive was lack of discernment. So we're just going to invite you to place on the altar everything that's ready to complete for you, that you're clinging to. You don't have to know consciously what that is. You can invite your higher self, body's higher self, to do that, to place all those places and spaces that are creating a dissonance. And really, it's almost like you have 1 foot in one world and 1 foot in another world. And it's like you haven't fully integrated into who you've become. So we're going to hold space for that integration and the completion and the integration of whatever that is in consciousness. And really, from this vantage point, It's all about just choosing, if you're choosing it, to be in favor with, it's like I choose to be in alignment with who I am, who I really am, what I've really become. I choose to release what I'm clinging to that I've outgrown. It's no longer relevant for me. Maybe it's karma you were trying to process that wasn't even yours, thinking we could somehow dig someone else out of their situation when their situation is their gateway to a higher octave. So why would we rob them of that? So returning all that karma you might be trying to process that's not even yours. From this incarnation, previous incarnations, body, team, same. Returning all responsibility, all their challenges back to them, all their perceptions and dissonance and ways of being that are dissonance back to them, all their grids back to them, sending appropriate energetic information. And I'm being reminded I came across something online recently of another healer, intuitive, that was speaking about her, I think it was a grandmother or an aunt came to her that was on the other side that had already transitioned and said to her, will you basically work on my pieces for me? Will you take work my lessons? Like I was really trying to garner the courage to come out and be an intuitive, but I didn't feel like it was safe. Will you work that challenge for me? And so from a lens of thinking it was the right thing to do, this, no judgment, but this intuitive said, yeah, I'll do it. And part of me cringed because not from judgment, but from awareness and from a place of the lens that I see through now is so clear that it's like we can't process another's challenge. We can't do another lesson for someone. It'd be like cheating in algebra class. Like, yeah, I can do your algebra for you, but then you're not going to learn algebra. Or yeah, I can do your whatever homework for you, but then you're not going to learn. So it comes from this place of actually, when you look at it through that lens, it's actually really out of integrity and not really serving anyone, especially, well, both. It's both. It's so wonky. So there's a dissonance there because it tanks my energetic fields if I take on someone else's challenge because I can't really work it. It's not really mine to work. It's from, I'm here on the mountain and this challenge is at a different place. It doesn't matter if it's above me or below me on the mountain. It's not my challenge to work. And from where I am in my evolution, I only want to be focused on my own path in energetic integrity and sovereignty and my free will choice for me to work what I'm ready to work for me, because I can only evolve me as a being. I can't evolve another. If I try to, things get wonky really fast. And so anytime another asks you to take on their challenge or their karma or their issue, their lessons and work them, whether you're consciously aware it's happening or not, it's really this opportunity to stand in discernment and to be in greater energetic integrity from the lens of it's not serving anyone for me to try to manifest your dreams for you or for me to try to learn your lesson for you. That's yours to learn. Why would I rob you of that? So we're just going to bring that in because it's coming in for a reason in this transmission, just inviting you at the level of your higher self, body's higher self, and team to scan your fields for any of those lessons, challenges, dreams, like what somebody was working on in their lifetime to their legacy to bring to fruition and maybe didn't finish or didn't start. Return all that back to them, all their creative projects, all their lessons, all their challenges, their issues, their karma, inviting you at the level of your higher self, body's higher self teams to scan your fields for everyone else's challenges, issues, karma. You're trying to work for them. That's not yours. It's not calibrated for you. It's not calibrated for where you are in the mountain. And it can create a sense of a false identification because it's almost like you're pretending to be someone you're not, because this challenge may be 2,000 feet below on the mountain or 2,000 feet above on the mountain, and it's not authentic to you for where you are. It's not yours to work for where you are. It's not going to propel you in your evolution, which is what it's all for. It's what the divine design is. So just inviting you, your body, your teams to bring in your own unique way, your own learning around this, to activate all vibrations of spiritual lessons and to return, no matter where you took it on, whether it was on the platform prior to launching into this incarnation or from a previous incarnation or during this incarnation, maybe in the womb, return all of those issues, challenges, especially ancestral, back to their right and perfect place, along with all relevant and appropriate energetic information. And I'm actually being shown a marriage ceremony. And a lot of times during a marriage ceremony, it's like this, it's like a contract with the fine print at the bottom that you don't read that says you're agreeing to take on the challenges, the relationship challenges of the ancestors and work on them in your marriage. So just inviting you to rewrite, go back in time, rewrite all those contracts from all incarnations where you took marriage vows so that you're not agreeing to take on a challenge of another, even if it's a group of people. Return all responsibility, return all their challenges, their issues, their karma back to them, sending appropriate energetic information where it's appropriate. You, body deva, and teams. A lot of times marriages will go downhill after the ceremony because of that it's like a clause in the contract that we're agreeing to. We're not consciously agreeing to it, but it's because we're not consciously choosing not to agree to it. It's like a default that has been done over and over and over and over for centuries. For millennia, the guides are saying. For millennia, it's been done over and over and over. So it's assumed, unless we say, no, I'm not agreeing to that. We have to take this out of the contract. Then I'll agree to these things. Maybe you rewrite the whole contract so that it's from a healthy co-creative place of honoring energetic integrity, divine design, growth and learning, yes, but not making the other responsible for it, not making the other responsible to meet my needs. I'm going to hold responsibility for all my needs, and we're going to play together in cultivating healthy co-creative relationships from oneness. There we go. And I'm feeling it lift, activating all vibrations of the spiritual lessons in the appropriate order, timing, and dimensions, completing those lessons in consciousness and codependence. And if you choosing to be in greater energetic integrity from here forward, I'm only going to work my own challenges. I'm only going to steer my own ship. I'm only going to hold responsibility for myself in my evolution because I can't evolve another. And then taking a moment to scan anywhere you placed attachment externally on another, trying to evolve them or on their issue or challenge. Retrieve all your attachment, your creative energy, your life force off of them, off of everyone and everything back to you. Clean it, recalibrate it, re-embed it on you so you start this galactic new year in your own lane, more fully aligned with who you really are in truth, upgrading yourself to who you really are, where you really are on the mountain, getting current with who you've become, letting go of any false identifications. Are you willing to release all the meaning you gave an issue or challenge that you may have had your whole life, recognizing that it might not have even been mine? Will you let go of all the meaning you've given it and allow your higher self, body's higher self, to reinterpret your relationship with all of it to a higher octave? Relationship with self to a higher octave, relationship with lack to a higher octave, relationship with learning and growth to a higher octave, relationship with change to a higher octave. And you could also equate change with liberation, because that's what just happened. Maybe take a moment and be in gratitude for the liberation that you just chose for you, by choosing to participate in your own evolution in a conscious way in this session, in this transmission, by saying yes to your freedom, by saying yes to your sovereignty, by saying yes to your own empowerment, by saying yes to energetic integrity. No one else can choose for you but you. And so you may make it your mantra in these first few days of this galactic new year, and maybe way beyond that. I am my own being of light. I'm only attached to my choice. I choose to be in greater energetic integrity with who I've become in every breath. We invite a balancing and stabilizing of all your energetic fields, updating all grids, all reference points, all ways in which you perceive and are perceived. We thank you for showing up. We thank you for choosing in favor of liberation for you, because that positively, empathically impacts all life. It takes a lot of courage, tenacity, strength, discernment, empowerment, self-love to do this type of work. So recognize that you harbor all those qualities. You might take a moment to give them an energetic hug. Give yourself an energetic hug, your body deva an energetic hug. And if it resonates to journey with us, I feel like this might be a bit of a precursor to what we're going to be doing next week for the Empowered Evolution Masterclass on August 2nd. We'll put a link below in the description and you can learn more about that. And if it resonates, join us for that Empowered Evolution Masterclass. It's on a sliding scale. And we're in a very auspicious time of malleability while Mercury's in retrograde, so it's easier to make a shift. We're also preparing to welcome the Lion's Gate peak on 8/8, which we will also be doing a transmission for on the Lion's Gate. And so we'll put a link below for that as well. And so feel free to share any feedback with us. Oh, we also want to mention now through Sunday evening, we are offering 44% off, 44% off all the digital downloads and private session reservations in our online store at embracingtheinfinite.com. So you can use the coupon NEW, NEW 44. That's in celebration of the Galactic New Year and also in celebration for your light and your willingness to evolve in a conscious way. So feel free to reach out to us with any questions, reflections, and maybe even suggestions on what you'd like us to speak to. And we look forward to connecting with you all again very soon. Thank you for showing up. Much love.